Hey guys, welcome back. Drip and Farm for Pop. I'm your host, Drip Coach, and let's jump right into it. So today, going back over this video because I knew Mystify would do a recap on it because we were chatting on this video in the comments, and it was referenced the REAP token dropping below that $30 level that I was holding, and showing that that was a sentiment of the people on the inside, the oligarchs, as some people have called them. And then Mystify commented here, said there's no doubt that Forex Shark's fan base is dwindling. I'm sure things would have been much better for him, Drip, in the community, if he had been willing to collab with us, stop supporting the leeching of the capital from his projects, and implement changes to allow real investors to profit from his systems. Oh well, the days of reckoning are quickly approaching for Forex Shark. Wonder whose butt we will kiss next, or kiss after that. And I've had to think, because a lot of people have commented, and I think they've been commenting just in jest, saying in fun, but it made me think about the relationship with Forex and Ray. And again, when I showed the video how Ray was the only one to leech the system and none of the other whales did, it just makes me wonder how deep that rabbit hole goes. I can't prove anything. This is literally just a tinfoil hat video, right? So I came with this comment here that said they will continue to fleece new investors. There are still enough that have made money to where they believe Forex and Ray walk on water. With Ray deleting his videos and Forex rebooting the charts, they are gearing up for a fresh start for the next crypto cycle, and they will recruit new members. So this is a little bit kind of tongue-in-cheek about the culture / cult of Drip, and then also making me wonder, again, tinfoil hat, I'm not pushing any allegations anywhere, but it does have me wonder why, again, Ray was the only one to leech the system from the start, and why Forex seems to be allowing Ray to be the hype man for everything. And now that Ray has deleted his videos, and then we know now that there's a pivot, partly, of course, yes, due to BUSD being phased out. But the truth of that actually is that BUSD will always be on chain and supported. Binance has said they will keep the one-to-one backing and peg. Only thing that could happen is that liquidity could move around, but it's still going to be one-to-one. So regardless of right now, let's take a look at what that is. So right now that's $2.4 billion. Even if it goes to 2.4 million or 240,000, it'll still be one-to-one. So it can't lose its peg, because Binance has said they will keep that actual USD equivalent on hand for exchanges no matter what. And I think it will be through the Ethereum side. But so either way, that's just kind of a red herring. Yes, it's better to move it due to liquidity. You want to have the most liquidity for any pairing you do with a token so that it has less volatility. But the fact that it's being now tied together with the V3 launch of dogs and pigs has me wondering. So it made me decide to go take a look back down memory lane to take a look at some of the old tokens, and some you may not even be familiar with. So token address is here, and we're going to take a look at each of these tokens and see what has happened to them since inception. So we go into REAP. REAP and BREAP, I believe, are the only two that are actually up right now. So ironically, those are actually doing pretty well. This used to be the REAP.finance site. It's no longer available. But if we take a look at the chart here, and I couldn't pull it into my watch list for some reason. It doesn't want me to pin that as a watch token, but we know that REAP is up because I showed you this before, up from when it launched. Definitely people may have lost money, or maybe they were selling, taking profits, I don't know, but it's below that trend line that it was holding for quite some time. It had been around above that since January 2022. So 18 months it was up. Everything was kind of perfect. This was time with the peak of Drip, and then the Animal Farm launch, and then it still kept trading sideways, or down, of course, but over here it was kind of holding this $30 range since May of this year, and then boom, just jumped off a cliff, and now it's 13 bucks. So again, not shitting on this at all, because there's 161 people in that, and again, it launched, I think I did in my video, at 10 cents, so it's up. But when we go look at the rest of these tokens, so you may not even be familiar with Grim, and I don't even have all the history on some of these. So when you come over to the silo, there was a Grim and Rake kind of liquidity pairing, and if you notice, this looks identical to Drip, which looks identical to Bankroll Flow. So this was not Forex's first hoorah in the space. So we had this rake, and you see down here, it even says, join the hydration network, join us on Telegram. And this was BREAP chat. So this was a way to try to basically farm REAP, and you paired it up with rake and Grim. I don't really remember how it worked. It was before my day, and by the time it got launched, it had already kind of like stopped working essentially. But we can take a look at the chart regardless to show you what that looks like. So we come over here to Grim, and this one is over. This was before it went to BREAP. So this is over on ETH, and it was paired with Grim and wrapped ETH. So you see that chart pretty much down and to the right as everything else in the ecosystem. And then I think there was a migration, or he stopped supporting it, or I don't know. There's still a little bit of liquidity there, about $4,000, $3,000. So nothing there. But anybody that got into that, they got wrecked, right? So that's token number one, or technically number two. Then we go into BREAP. You guys already know how that's fared because it is now jumping off a cliff, but I believe it launched at a low price as well because it was a fork of REAP. So going from ETH to the Binance Smart Chain. But even now, I think, yeah, we're hovering around that trend in here as well. So what was this at this stage? Yeah, so we're back around these levels, $3. I don't know what the initial launch was, but we've seen some lower values in here that we're heading straight towards. So this chart doesn't look very good at all either. So that's BREAP. Then next we take a look at, this was rake. So remember I mentioned this was, again, I don't have the details, but it was like a farming token or something that got paired up. You could use rake and Grim, or rake and BREAP, I believe. But this chart, same as the others. So big run up around the drip all-time high. And again, of course, at launch, there might have been a migration from one of the other ones to this, and it took off, and then now it's flatlined at the bed as well, 21 cents. And it's got 4,000 of liquidity as well. And some of you may have forgot, but remember we had a V1 pigs. There was 16 million of those that we had over on the animal farm. That was the original V1, and there was 16 million pigs. And then this is a dog, sorry, I got the wrong token here. But then we ended up migrating the dogs and pigs token. So we can take a look at those contracts. Now those have been migrated, so that liquidity the chart should look down and to the right. But remember, before we even migrated, it looked the exact same. So this is the migration here where all liquidity was paired or removed, but we were down to 40 bucks after being up at 180, 160, somewhere in there. So that was dogs V1. And then also, I think I got these backwards. That says pigs, but it should have been dogs. And I think this one's pigs. Let's see. Nope, that's dogs as well. Let me see. Where's my pigs? Here's the pigs V1. So again, we had 16 million of those before we migrated to the new version. And this one is sitting at, yeah, again, liquidity was moved, of course, naturally. So got to take that out of the chart, but we'll look at where that was moved. So remember this one launched, yeah, we almost saw $1,000 pig price. I remember that. That was crazy. Man, I forgot how bullish things were. So that was back in February 2022. And then we fast forward, and then the migration, the exploit for the piggy bank got the biggest flop in the entire farm history. I think it was the piggy bank. He hyped that one up. And then March, we were already down to 150 bucks. So from 800 to 150. And then of course, liquidity moved. So you see a trend. And now we're going to dogs V2, dogs V3 and pigs V3. But before we look at that, we can look at V2 of dogs, and it looks the same as the rest of the charts. And down and to the right. And then of course we look at pigs V2 down into, and there's the pigs. So the thing is, all of these look exactly the same except for BREAP, possibly, and REAP. So ironically, the tokens with the least amount of utility are doing the best. The ones that actually are meant to just be bought and sold, kind of a swing trader kind of thing, where there's no incentive to do anything else with it, those perform the best. Whenever it seems Forex puts all this game theory behind things, they seem to, in my humble opinion, fail and flop and not be worth anything. So my personal experience within the Forex Shark ecosystem is down and to the right for 20 months. Now, there are those that may have gotten in during the initial run-ups for some of these, and they may have made some serious bank. So that's why I definitely understand there is some loyalty to Forex, but part of me believes, I'm not gonna say he's a one-trick pony, but he got lucky with the bull run for crypto. So just being able to develop and write code that wasn't exploited and then having mass adoption, even crappy meme tokens benefited in the bull run. Like, you could literally just fork a code and throw it out there, and people are like, hey, new code. Like, people literally would just have scripts to check for new things that got liquidity added on the various dexes, and then you just ape into it. So I don't really know what the future holds. I do know this, so I will give him this credit. Again, he has attention to detail, Forex, and then he also focuses on security. And then number 3 I'll give him is I do believe he is trying to develop and innovate within the space. Those are the 3 positive traits I would give him. But in regards to my experience and exposure in it, all of the assets that I have bought into, even being there on launch day, following his narrative, I have gotten wrecked. So when he has pitched that, you know, you should compound or you should buy and hold, or the value will go to long-term holders, that is all BS. Because I have been a long-term holder and never ever sold hardly any on most of the assets. And the people that actually did the opposite of what Forex said when he mentioned all these launches did the best. So you could best remembered from piggy bank, if you didn't actually lock up your tokens and you actually just got in and bought and were able to flip, you did the best. Those people actually made bank. And I think the same thing even with the garden, you know, if you just had the LPs versus locking them up in the garden. So there's been clearly a lot of things he's tried, but what I've learned now and what I'm going to do going forward, he is definitely a investor mindset, and he wants other people to be an investor. The space is degen, so you're literally having conflicting viewpoints and energies, and the degens always seem to win. So I can't tell you what you're going to do or what you should do in these up and coming projects or ideas or whatever, if you're going to be a part of the ecosystem. But I would urge you to listen to what he says and then think about what has played out in the past. So if he's pitching the idea about value being to the long-term holders and hold this and hold that and dividends, if the space hasn't changed and the energy hasn't changed and meme tokens are still pumping on various chains, then I would urge you to adopt that energy. It's like literally trying to swim upstream or go against the tide. You can't. And until that energy changes, his projects, in my humble opinion, will continue to look like this, because he's trying to produce things against the actual natural energy within the ecosystem as a whole, the crypto market. If you're going to leverage that investor mindset, then find yourself some Bitcoin or some layer 2 alts that you're bullish on and just hold those. That's the best way to play it. So this was just literally a recap, kind of a, like I said, tinfoil hat theory on what the actual issue is, or the relationship between him and Forex and Ray. Because again, Ray was the only one to exploit the system against all others. And then Ray has also been the champion, echoing the sentiment, but doing the exact opposite behind scenes. So it makes me wonder that maybe they are thick as thieves. I honestly don't know, but I can tell you, I personally don't trust the projects themselves to deliver as advertised. I do trust them to be secure, and again, have attention to detail. Whether or not there will be early investors or even Forex himself that is able to benefit from them in a different way than what everybody else is, that's outside my scope. That's the tinfoil hat part you have to take on. But tying this into V3, because again, these charts are going to be migrated. I think, again, it's just the great reset of the Animal Farm pigs and dogs, version 3 now. And my theory is that we'll just be able to reset the charts, and then by the time that's done, they're gonna shit the bed as well, and then PancakeSwap V4 will be on the rise, and we'll do it again. It'll just keep happening, keep finding new ways to lock up investor capital. But if you understand how to farm, I do believe that that can be a solid play on the farm still, because the LPs and the mechanics on the farm. So I wouldn't advise you buying any dogs and pigs, but if you are hodling blue chips, then parking them on the farm, in theory, because there's no taxes in and out, could still be a play. So we'll have to see for that one. But again, this is just a recap, let you guys see all the charts, all the different projects that you may not even be aware of, and some of the ones that have just disappeared into the darkness. Silo, Grim, Reap, Rake, all this stuff. And let me know your thoughts down below. How do you feel regarding the ecosystem and the future? And yeah, what are you going to do? All right, that's all I got. Smash that HBO special, help a brother out. Like, subscribe, comment down below. And until next time, live daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.
Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? SPRITZ Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.